Squat and hinge discussion. Today happens to be an especially appropriate occasion because I spent the morning unloading a truck full of heavy boxes, so lots of squatting and hinging for me. Handling load in front of my body also has resulted in my balance shifting forward, my pelvis tilting forward. I am not perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect, but I am getting better every day. And through these training techniques, I'm able to get my pelvis back into neutral and make that my body's resting position. So here I am, sitting back onto my heels so that my hamstrings can rotate my pelvis back to neutral, and I squat down as far as I can. You can see in my mid-spine I am extended a little. I've gone past my functional range, so I had to compensate. That's okay. Sometimes in daily life, we need to go past what we're capable of doing stably. Here's another view. So I'm going to go down all the way to the floor again, just to demonstrate. I don't condone moving past your stable range of motion, but when we train, we emphasize maintaining stability so that we can expand our movement potential from that place. So I'm back on my heels, squatting down to the floor. Knees are staying neutral, square. Ankles are neutral, square. So this time I'm going to try my best to maintain a stable neutral spine and only go as far as I'm able to with that restriction. So I shift back onto my heels, allow my hamstrings to rotate my pelvis back to neutral posteriorly, releasing the tension that's trying to pull me into extension. And then on the exhales, I relax further into flexion, trying to keep this stable neutral spine shape. Inhaling, expanding, opening up space in my rib cage so that then I can relax more tension. I've got my hands out in front of me like this to help me keep my scapula protracted. This allows me to better access that posterior rib cage that I'm breathing into. And I can relax further. Not changing my shape, just moving through flexion. And maybe I get to my end range and I can't go any further, but I can still breathe here and relax here. If I can breathe with control in a position, then I'm not stressed. If I'm not stressed, then I'm able to adapt. And that's what we're doing. We're teaching our bodies to adapt to new positions, new ranges of motion from a place of stability. Now I'm going to do a hinge, very similar to a squat. We're flexing at the hips, but instead of sitting into air, lowering our butts, we're rather just folding forward, like so. And same thing with a squat. I can inhale, expand, open up space, then exhale, release tension, relax further into flexion. This is an incredible stretch for our hamstrings. So my hamstrings here are the main muscle supporting the weight of my torso hanging out in space like this. So in order to be able to hinge further, my hamstrings have to be longer. So let's say I've gotten to end range. I can't hinge any further. One way that I can buy a little bit more space is squatting down a bit, flexing at the knee, and then I can fold forward a little bit more. And once I've hinged more, I can try and extend my knees back to where they were. Give and take, push and pull, and then hamstrings shorten to bring me back up. Real world application. So in order to pick something up from down low, we'll exhale all the air as we hinge, squat down. Inhale, inflating our torso, expanding our ribcage to pressurize, stabilize our spine, then expelling pressure to propel us upward. That pressure is what prevents us from pulling with our back. So what if it's even lower, and I've got to compromise to get down to pick it up? Well, that's fine because we've trained our spine to move as a unit. There's no kink, no individual vertebrae move more than the others. I'm just rounding more. The curve is still uniform, so I'm still able to pressurize, stabilize, and expel pressure to propel upward. Happy moving, everyone.